What is up, everybody? It's Joe from JLW Games coming at you with another cool video, and we're back in Planet Coaster for another episode of Westwood. So, when we left off, we created the pirate ship ride, and of course we had the cafe as well. In this episode, we're going to be focusing on an entirely new ride that is going to take multiple episodes to complete, and this is the River Rapids ride that I was talking about in actually the last episode. So, what I wanted to do is put it over here by the lakeside, or the river rather, and make sure that it was near water. And I've never created the River Rapids ride yet in Planet Coaster. I have hardly even checked it out. So this is going to be very interesting because this is kind of like my first time actually using it and stuff like that. So what I do here is actually create a lot of rock work around the River Rapids ride. I think the rock work makes it a lot more realistic and a lot better looking overall, and it will actually help the track theme rating out quite a lot, and it will get it up to probably very high on the highest settings, because we're going to be adding a lot of scenery and a lot of different objects to this ride and stuff like that. So there's going to be a lot of elements added to this ride. So there's a lot to do with this ride, and it's going to take some time, so possibly up to 3 episodes. Who knows how long it will take. So what I wanted to do out here is actually create a little body of water in the center of this part, and I actually changed it into something else, which actually works out just a bit better. So it didn't work out too well because I can't really fill it up as high as I would want to with the water. So we have kind of a change of plans on how this is going to work. So I do end up leaving it at one point to kind of figure out what I'm going to do later with it. But anyways, this is the River Rapids ride in this first section of the park, which is Westwood Shores. And of course, there had to be a water ride in Westwood Shores, and I thought the River Rapids ride would fit very nicely in this very spot. So as for the name of this ride, I've considered many different names, but I'm still trying to consider a couple. It's not final yet, but I'm trying to figure out some other names that I could possibly do it, because I'm still currently working a little bit on the storyline. It is planned out, but the storyline is still kind of in a process here, and it's got a similar theme almost to the pirate ship quite a bit, as in you're taking a voyage down this river from Westwood Shores. This is kind of the developing storyline to this ride, and there's this dangerous river that no man has really gone through because of the dangers that actually await it, because there's a lot of waterfalls and stuff within the river and stuff like that. That's just and so a lot of rocks. There are a lot of rocks around this area, but you're on a journey to get through this river to head through Westwood Shores. Now, what the parts that kind of are developing is why would anyone take this, and what is at the end of it. So I'm trying to think that at the end, it's rumored that at the end of the river, of the Westwood River here, that there is a prize beyond no man's and no man could imagine. Like there's like treasures that no one has ever imagined at the end of the river if you are able to get through the river. So that's kind of the storyline that I'm kind of going for. It might change a little bit, but I think it's a very solid storyline for this part of the park. So it's just off Westwood Shores, and it is a river, a separate river from Westwood Shores that kind of breaks off of Westwood Shores, and it's called the Westwood River. Now, it's going to be heavily themed again, and at the end I do kind of want to have an indoor part, so kind of make this part dark ride at the end too as well. As you can see, the lift hill is going to also be right here around the ride. Now, as for how big this ride's going to be, I haven't really decided too much, but everything that you see in this video, it pretty much is getting close. The layout's not going to be ginormous. It's not going to be the longest ride in the world, but it's going to be a very nice lengthy water ride, I think, that will add a lot to the park. And it's only the second ride that we've been working on, and I know a lot of people want to see like roller coasters and stuff like that, but I'm very excited for this ride itself because it's going to be using a lot of scenery and a lot of thought that goes into it. So, and the storyline is pretty fun as well, that is developing rather. So in the last part, it's going to be kind of like this tunnel, and this, like, it's almost going to be like a cave pretty much that the ride will enter, and is going to have a lot of different triggered lights, effects, and stuff like that, which I can't actually wait for that kind of stuff. It's going to be actually really fun, and I can't wait to see how that develops, because I want you to think kind of Silver Dollar City, Lost River of the Ozarks kind of, in a way, because what it does is at the end it actually does go into it like an enclosed indoor part with a lot of creepy sounds and stuff like that, and I think that's going to be a really cool it's kind of a small inspiration for this ride. When we do get to that, we probably won't get to that until the next episode, because all of this is outdoors and there's a lot of scenery to the place and stuff like that. So this is just kind of the base of it, but believe me, it's going to look a lot better when it's finished, because there's a lot to do still. Like, I do the rocky on the sides of the track, nothing but rock work. That's just kind of like the base of it. That's not even including all the different scenery elements that are going to be in the ride and stuff like that. There's a lot of scenery elements that are going to be in this ride. As you will see here in a little bit, I do add a couple of buildings and a bridge that goes over this section and stuff like that will add on to the ride's interesting look to it. It will add interesting stuff to the ride pretty much, and I can't explain how excited I am for this park and all of its developments. I think it's going to be a great ride right here. I think this is going to be a fantastic park, and I hope you guys will agree with me, because I'm trying to do every level of detail I can in this kind of park, because I'm very excited. I've been wanting to do this. Is almost like my dream park that I've been trying to imagine here right here in Planet Coaster. So again, this ride's been planned, but when I say everything's been planned, I already have a general idea of how it's going to turn out. There is a little bit improvising in some spots and aspects of it, but overall everything is kind of planned beforehand, and stuff like that. And so that's the cool thing about this park, is that I think will make it a little bit better, because it's a little bit more well planned, and I want everyone to expect a lot more episodes of Westwood coming in the very near future. There's a lot to do for Westwood, and there's a lot more I want to get done. So because I want this park to be done, I kind of would love to complete it right before around March of 2017. That would make it, the grand opening of the park, because the park would open in 2017, and an appropriate time, because it would open up on because most parks open around March, April, or May. Most of them go on May, but a lot of them do open in March, kind of like a lot of the family-owned ones. Open through March, and some of them are even open all the way through Christmas time, and they only have like 2 months of off season. Now, I want to act this park out as if it were a real park, and when I say that, I mean there's going to be stuff added almost every single season. Like, you're going to have new rides opening, like in 2018 there's going to be a new ride or attraction opening up in the park and stuff like that. It has something new to bring every single season, and that's kind of what I'm going for in this kind of stuff. And this is why I want to make multiple parks with that kind of aspect. And this is going to be the first one with JLW Entertainment chain is what it's going to be called. The JLW Entertainment chain that has all these parks that are going to be around. So this is their first project that they're working on that will be opening in March of 2017. So it's going to be their first park to open, and I think a lot of people will be excited for it. So as much as I am, hopefully as much as I am. But anyways, that being said, I hope to actually have some other parks open as well before March and April if I have enough time. So this is going to be a project I'm going to be working on a lot here. So you're going to be seeing a lot of episodes of this very, very soon in the near future. If not almost every other day, maybe every day you're going to be seeing an episode of Westwood, because now that I have a lot of more free time, you're going to be seeing a lot of episodes. So anyways, with that being said, I was creating this like little house on the sides of the river because why not? It looks actually really cool, and I actually thought it fits the theme a lot well, because you're going to be traveling here, and there's going to be some people on side of the river that actually live on that side of the river, which is kind of cool. Then there's this little drop turn I actually implement into the layout right here, which took me some time to get a little bit right. I think that's going to be a very thrilling kind of part of the water ride, because it's going to drop and it's a turning at the same time. For a river rapids ride, I think that's going to be kind of interesting. Now, I don't use a lot of the large track and stuff. I use a lot of little dips and stuff like that, and for the most part, leave this as kind of one way, as in width of the, with the width of the tracks and stuff like that. They're going to mostly stay the same, and I think it will turn out pretty cool in the end of how this ride's going to be laid out and stuff like that. So I hope that is actually going to work very well. Now, as for the lift, I wanted to kind of put like an enclosed part at the very top almost, but I decided to leave it open in the end, rather than enclosing it in a building or something like that. I still might do that, but I'm still trying to figure out what it would turn out better. And again, there's a lot of rock work that goes into this kind of ride, so it is going to take some time, and maybe even longer than most roller coasters in the park. So that's kind of an interesting element to think of as well. So there's not too much left that I do in the video, except for a really cool scenery item scenery building that I do kind of work on and stuff like that, which is the bridge that will go over the little rapid section, and also the water tower that you saw at the cinematic part at the beginning of the video, which is also a really neat thing as well. So a lot of details and stuff will be going into these a lot. And believe it or not, I didn't place a single tree in this episode. I did delete a couple, but I didn't place any. So that is kind of an amazing thing I thought I would share, because a lot of people think I go overboard with trees and stuff, and you're probably right. But anyways, this is a little bridge that's going to be going over the top. It's going to be connected to at least the building over here, which we'll be seeing in just a moment. And it will also connect to another building on the other side, which will be connected in between this bridge, where you will be going under and stuff, which will actually be really cool. I'm thinking about adding some vines and stuff maybe on the bridge and stuff to give it a little more of an sketchy look to it and stuff like that. Like, oh, what is this? You're pretty much in the section of the part where you're still kind of leaving the Westwood area at this point of the ride, so that's kind of where you're at. So it's a little bit populated in this section still, so you got to keep that in mind. And yeah, there's just going to be a lot of scenery items and stuff over here in this section. This is going to be, and the side of that building is going to be a little bit of a dock area with some different random pieces of junk and stuff like that. So that's pretty much all that's going to be. And of course, got to put a door here, and a pretty like old door that like is beaten up and stuff like that, that is hardly together. So anyways, we have the dock area right here, which will again put a lot of scenery stuff. And I know a lot of the scenery placement can get a little bit long and edgy and just time consuming, but it will all be worth it in the very end, trust me. Like I'm very excited for all the details and scenery that's going in, and this isn't even final yet. There's still modifications I'll probably make to certain sections of the ride and the scenery objects and stuff like that, so just be sure to keep that in mind, and just a lot of stuff that you probably won't even see on ride anyways. So there's a lot that goes into making your rides look good and stuff like that. So I definitely wanted to make sure I had a water tower around this ride. I thought that would be really neat, and I was like, well, let me place it in that one area that was having issues with. So that actually worked out quite nicely to my advantage, and it actually fit in there quite well because there's actually a little bit of water at the bottom of that structure, and it has this little spout thing where you can actually have some water spraying out. So I took some time to try and figure out what I was going to do, and I found a special effect piece that actually fit it a lot nicer than what I was originally going to do, and that was kind of one of the water jets, and I was like, that just doesn't look very natural. So I decided to change it up a bit and used one of the like splashing type of special effects, which actually fit quite well right here, as you can see. And it just looks a lot better because it actually looks like it's pouring down out of the spout and onto the ride and stuff like that. Just a cool stuff like that. And I was thinking about making it triggered, but I was like, no, I'll just keep it on the entire time. There's going to be a lot of triggers in the on the ride eventually anyways. So we're going to have a lot of triggers, and I'm thinking about putting some music kind of elements and stuff like that, like a lot of speakers around, playing some really cool music and stuff like that while you're on the ride. I think that would be kind of a cool little effect for stuff like that. I'm going to adding lots of different sound effects maybe within this kind of ride, and I think it's actually turning out very nice. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. That's about it for this episode. Make sure you have a great day, even cooler tomorrow, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying Westwood. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.